go, and we are live around the world and across the web. Quantum economics and the quantum live stream. Maddie Satz here, joined by Mad Hatter, and we're going to be talking to the folks from Our Way. We've got Philippe and Daniel with us today, finding out about tokenization, RWA, two things that I'm really excited about. Hatter, let's do a quick mic check and go around the room and say hello. What's going on with you, friend?
Mic check 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, sounds really good.
Yeah, I'm nice and crispy, no delay today. I am doing great. I'm excited today. I mean, the amount of conversations we've had recently, and I've listened to you have, Matt, recently, in which RWAs have popped up, and the need and the desire to tokenize is, it's hotting up as a topic, and it's been coming in thick and fast. So to be able to have one of these sit-down conversations with a company doing just that is exciting for me, and I am made of questions today, my friend.
Fantastic. And
Felipe, how about you, sir?
Philippe and Daniel. Felipe, yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you guys. I'm Felipe. I'm a co-founder with Our Way, and I'm here in São Paulo, Brazil.
Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel from Lviv, Ukraine, building something interesting starting this year.
Building something interesting. That is a tease and a half right there, Daniel. My gosh. I want to start with you just as we get into the conversation, if that's okay. I want to just kind of get just an overall sense of just the macroeconomic landscape of where you're at, just there in Eastern Europe and Ukraine. I mean, it's obviously been a lot going on in your country over the last 4 years and dominating the headlines. But how does all of that, on top of the latest tariff talk and everything, affect you personally, even just from a macro standpoint, just economically? What are you seeing on the ground right there as far as tariffs, blockchain, Bitcoin, and in your own personal life?
Well, I'm into crypto since 2017, and the pressure that is going on in Ukraine now makes me and all the team be more creative. Like, we want to have the footprint in the industry, in economics. Like, we prefer unusual ideas and creating the path to show people how to reduce cost, timeline, etc., and to use the best practices. Because we were creating a lot of projects with the same code base, but different in nature, like classic crypto exchange or remittance service, neobank, football players tokenization platform. Like, the user thinks they are way more different, but inside it's all the same.
What about you, Felipe? Your background and how you got into the space, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been a co-founder of startups for over 10 years, starting in the Web 2. Then I turned venture capital investor and started having contact with all kinds of Web3 and blockchain projects on the standpoint of an investor. So basically, being able to analyze and gather intelligence and see how, what different approaches people are doing to solve different problems in different areas, from industry to food to traceability to tokenization. And more recently, I sat with Daniel trying to find the ideal tokenization platform for a project. And ideas we just found a lot of synergy into what both were looking for and what we're not looking for. And so recently joined Our Way. It's actually, the company is based in Estonia, and it was incorporated in October 24. So it's very recent. And I think this year will be a year that many institutions and mainstream licensed financial institutions will embrace blockchain and tokenization, and we're here to help them, better understand without the hustle of any technical or complexities.
Yeah, fantastic. Hatter, you got anything you wanna get things going here?
Yeah, I'm made of questions. I have so many different questions, and I'm trying to decide what angle I want to come at you guys from, because it's so fascinating to me that this is still so fresh and so new, and it's barely spoken about yet. When anybody says RWA, people light up. Is it exciting at the minute? I know Matt has already mentioned the kind of the economy at the moment, and just what is happening around the world. We all know what's happening. Does that lend itself to being exciting for you guys when you're building at the moment? I know that probably sounds like a strange question, but I imagine you can see a lot of opportunities cropping up while there's so much uncertainty and volatility, especially when it comes to RWAs.
Yeah, that's correct. The thing is, they are way more different compared to cryptocurrencies, because tokenized gold is RWA. Tokenized real estate, the same, but they have way too different nature.
Right. So I suppose let me just jump straight into the deep end and ask you, what do you find is at the minute the most popular then? Is there anything that you're looking at in terms of the real world assets that you find people are coming to you more and more for? Is there a direction or a sector that seems to be embracing this more than another at the minute?
Yeah, according to our requests and like the things that make people believe in tokenization, it's real estate, because from year to year it was very solid, and tokenizing it makes it more liquid, especially if you use sort of a wrapper. Like, instead of tokenizing the building itself, you can tokenize the fund that owns it. So it makes it much more convenient to wrap in a fund, rather than go through more timely and more expensive way to tokenize the building itself.
What about you,
Right,
Felipe?
interesting. I remember. Oh, sorry. After you, Matt.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'll give you an insight, I think, into Brazil, so it makes more diverse. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're seeing, like Daniel said, funds and investors in the real estate area. So, like a couple of platforms are being born in Brazil, so we're actually pioneering with our technology, the same space. But I would complement also with SPVs and funds, so potentially private equity, even venture capital funds, I think, which is more towards where I come from. We're looking into opportunities in this area, so like possibly using fractionalization for lower tickets. So, uh, you know, providing access to more people into this classes of investments. But yeah, we recently spoke with people in the mining, oil, even like other like gold and other commodities. So it's pretty wide field, I would say. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, Hatter. I know you got some more questions, so I'll let you.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped over you. My apologies. I remember having a conversation with a couple of young gentlemen from Cyprus who were trying to do what you're doing. Well, they said they were trying to do what you're doing, but they weren't doing any of the technical stuff behind the scenes. They were just trying to raise money to buy timeshares, essentially. And you know, so I'm so I was fascinated to hear, you know, when someone is coming along that's doing things right and the right way. And real estate is a real interest of mine in terms of fractionalizing it. So I took a look at, you know, your website, which is rway.io, and I'm taking a look at the solutions that you offer, and I'm looking about everything that you guys have put on there. And it struck me that it just had me, you know, thirsting for more information. I really wanted to have some use cases that you guys have and take a look at what it is that you're doing. And I know I can book a demo, but I was really keen to dig into it a little bit more. Um, you know, we're talking about something that is, I'm trying to get my words together correctly. You know, a very difficult thing to approach, obviously. And if you can talk me through from start to finish, if a company is really keen on, especially let's say real estate, fractionalizing it and tokenizing it, what do they need to do with you from the beginning point, and how do you help them through each step, from starting to legality to what it might be to do it within their country specific, onwards and upwards?
Yeah, if you want to tokenize your assets, you have the easy way. Just go to tokenization platform, and if it's the only case for you, you just uh, log in to your account. There are several players, big ones in US, Asia, and global, and you just go through their process, and you have a profile uh, with your tokenized assets, and you can invite your users to buy it. But if you want to go further and create a smaller version of tokenization platform just for yourself, like to truly own the code, the infrastructure, put your brand in everywhere, launch your Web3 wallet, and allow the users to buy and sell your tokens directly from this branded wallet for you, then you need our solution. So we are sort of a boutique company that takes care of your technical journey if you want to go this way. I know it's more complex and it's more for people who want to have everything under their own umbrella instead of going to a third party or using a white label provider. Because, for example, if you take white label provider and you want some additional integration, it will take a lot of time and money to actually get it. But if you own the code, if you have access to development resources, you just have this integration in a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks is fast. Man, what do you think about that? Should we buy some property and immediately jump into this?
I'm looking at it right here. One of the questions I think that's really hard, I think, when we're talking about security, how does a company like Arway ensure compliance with like regulatory frameworks across different jurisdictions? Because that seems to be like one of the biggest hurdles that I've found so much in the RWA sector, the legal complexity surrounding tokenized real world assets from various jurisdictions.
Yeah, that's correct. It's very hard if you want to put classic ERC20 token uh, into this space. But if you take more sophisticated, uh, how do you call it, standard of a token
Hmm.
created by Tokeny, by the way, it's a huge platform for tokenization. It's called ERC 3643, or they just call it T-Rex. It has 85 permission types. So your token has built-in KYC, AML, another chance for country.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Damn it. My bad. Sorry. I fat fingered it. I hit the wrong button, man. I got big, thick fingers. They're like sausages, and I hit the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah. So if you launch with classic ERC20 that can only take the number of your tokens, is not the way to go. But if you use a sophisticated smart contract standard aligned with your compliance, uh, it's an easy way to go. That's what actually Tokenate gives you out of the box. They have sort of a form to fill the fields, and it will
Mhm.
convert to a smart contract for your easy deployment. But it's just only step one. Then you need to understand who is your community, how you brand yourself, how you make it alive, etc. That's where your branding, your own domain installation, and these things matter.
Hatter, I'm afraid to touch anything. My fingers might hit the wrong button. Go ahead and go.
I was going to turn to Felipe and say, Felipe, look, I have a business. I want to tokenize it. I want to go down this route. I need you to be very gentle with me. Hold my hand. Talk me through from literally step one right now what it is that you advise that I do in order to get the best out of your product.
Sure. Yes. I mean, first of all, we recommend that you have a business, and I think that's the way that we are seeing it differently from, I think, the market overall. So we're not supporting meme coins or meaningless assets. Um, so companies that are actually looking for efficiency, you know, looking for lower costs, and that have the potential to implement blockchain, which is not a easy and cheap process and technology, can come to us, and we will help them throughout all the process. And the previous question, the legal aspect, I think, is crucial one, and it's different from place to place, and it's constantly evolving. So we do have our partners in different jurisdictions, usually from our where clients and leads come from, and we give them like a hand, or we have even calls. We sit with them in the calls and to better understand the needs. And we're pretty agnostic in terms of complying with all the needs that But we don't. You're not a broker or licensed
Okay.
marketplace or exchange, at least yet. So we
Yet.
provide all the support. Yeah, so we provide all the support, so that they can, arrange the best partnership, and also the same with tokenomics. Although I think Daniel will explain that we have our standard framework that we are developing, and we have a light paper. I think there's a link on our website. And we can make it available later on. That is to tokenize revenue, and I think it's this completely different approach, and try to reduce volatility and speculation. So, the idea is to provide a solid tokenization process for, real businesses, right? And support their growth with the technology.
Well, you kind of lead me right into that tokenization. You threw Daniel under the bus there, which is something I kind of wanted to get to. It was on my list of questions, but since you kind of brought it up, Felipe, that's a beautiful segue. So let's just take it right now, Daniel. Over to you on that whole subject.
Yeah, starting this year, we saw the opportunity to go to the segment of revenue tokenization, because when you tokenize real estate, gold, any commodities, etc., you usually tokenize ownership rights, and it's static, and it's connected to the delusion stuff. But if you want to tokenize your revenue, especially it's good for companies selling digital products, because they are just online. You don't have stock, you don't need to ship them. Users just buy and utilize them. So we created a double token approach uh, to show that the price of the token can logically grow based on revenue sharing, instead of just throwing it on hyper volatile market with no explanation why the price is going up and down. It's just because bots are playing with patterns and dump and pump the market.
Dump and pump the market. That's kind of what we're looking at here.
I love that we've already had a couple of questions come in. One of them was what sets you apart. So that's going to definitely be a question I'd like to ask now, is what do you feel sets you guys apart? And of course, there's no one answer fits all on this, and you're already answering the question through the conversation. So secondary to that is, once you kind of give us a small brief once again of what sets you apart, how do you then plan to scale? What are your plans to scale, evolve, move over the next 18 to 24 months, and forward, as we see and as we know that crypto and blockchain technology is going to inevitably become exponentially more utilized?
Yeah, it's the first time we want to use our own software to launch a platform as a service, because all those years we were just B2B providers to someone's business. And now we have a novel approach to start own platform and onboard dozens of businesses that have digital products, but they are not able to launch a token because there is not a way to fit with existing models. Because usually fundraising through a token doesn't have a lot of backup with actual money. It's more about promises and the believing in the project, that in 1 year, for example, there will be a person on the market who will be happy to buy the token for a higher price. And we think that less and less companies would like to hope for this price increase, and the charts are showing that it's a couple of spikes in the beginning, and then the chart is lying down in a knockout. So we think that showing the people and companies and their users that come on, if you buy this token, you will not be afraid to hold it because there will be no panic sell. We create a set of smart contracts that will just logically move the price up because you are not able to have negative revenue. And if it's based on revenue sharing, it can stand still or grow.
Mhm. Yeah. Can you share any specific examples or case studies? I would say of companies that are looking at using your technology.
Yeah, we will be our own first customer on this
Okay.
platform because our digital products are license upgrade, code access, license to use mobile application as a wallet based on the technology, packages for development services, for integrations, packages for support, etc. It's all digital, and we can sell it and share the revenue with our own token holders.
Excellent. I'm gonna put up.
You mentioned obviously real estate, gold, oil, mining. There must be, well, a few business sectors out there, businesses that you are silently screaming at and have no idea why they haven't approached you yet. And you
Yeah.
must be thinking, why on earth is this sector? Why on earth are these guys not looking at us? I'm sure you don't want to give too much of too many secrets away, but can you kind of drop a little bit of a hint of to one or two of those businesses that you look at and think, if we target them right, not only is it a gold mine for us, but it's a gold mine for them because we know we can improve what they're doing, hugely.
Yeah, the technical team of our way is used to very complex financial solutions. For example, mm, combining several approaches for transactions, we could deploy a platform that supports 8 of them. Uh, but with real estate, for example, it's not about financial transactions. It's more about providing the data about the real estate object. That's where we say that our platform plays more the role of CMS system because you can add assets on the go. Um, if you're familiar with decentralized applications, they usually take all the data inside of this application, hard coded for user UI. So to see the new assets, you need to really update the version. And if it's just cryptocurrency, you just need the name and basic market information. But for real estate, you need gallery, you need a lot of information about the asset. And that's where this content management system is very useful. And same time, regulators like FINRA, they want to understand how you onboard the users, how you guide them, and how you control your own stuff. So you need an implemented system for roles control based on permissions and comprehensive audit log to understand who did what with your system. That's where we come up with our bank grade admin panel.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. Um, I love people who are able to give comprehensive yet diplomatic responses. And I'm going to turn my eyes now to Felipe. He's at the bottom left-hand side of my screen, because when I asked if there was a business sector out there, or a business in general that is ripe for this and is hidden away at the moment, I saw a wry smile on your face, Felipe.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
did
going to throw
too.
the question at you as well. So spill the beans. Is there anything that you're looking at that is really ripe for the taking, and you can't wait for them to start taking this more serious?
Sure, absolutely. Again, any business selling digital products, either with the revenue models that are recurring, like subscriptions, license, or any kind of loyalty packages with special benefits, is potentially a tokenizer of utility tokens. So it doesn't need to be that complex. This gives you access to more currencies and in an easier way to transact international markets and subsidiaries. And so different cases may apply. We could point to the cases that we have spoken. So hospitality, music, sports, and different cases apply to each of those segments. But one interesting case, and is what drove me to enter the space in the first place, is SPVs and funds. So fundraising for especially early stage companies is something that can potentially be a subject of our examination, and that we have the framework with the legal, the tokenomics, and even the marketing partners, the right partners to make it happen with our technology, uh, in the back.
Great. Thank you. Matt, I'm sure you have another question. My brain's now whirring on loyalty points, and I immediately jumped to a cinema picking this up. Me grabbing my popcorn, some tokenized
Yeah.
loyalty arrangements with a cinema or a
Yeah.
complex, a mall or something is
Skazlar
swimming
with a
around in my brain
question
now.
from X. What is the current funding situation? And do you have major backers? What is your funding situation? Good question.
Yeah, we started fundraising in mid-February when we accomplished our light paper and investor deck. So we are just in early fundraising stage.
Yeah, we are bootstrapped so far since say 6 months ago when the company started, and we're entering the track of like important foundations, blockchain, with the grants, and also looking for early stage investors to come along, but not as I would say as a priority. The priority is to close more clients, leads in our waiting list, be able to deliver product, and once we validate step by step, build the product, then yes, it would make sense for us to talk to institutional funds and enter the fundraising track.
Okay, so we're not there on the fundraising track yet, but you're still kind of in the early stages and working with some partners there. It sounds like you've got a lot of stuff going on and a lot of moving parts to kind of answer that question. So your funding situation is pretty good. You got major backers, but where do you see this just overall where do you see the whole RWA landscape? I would say, can you walk me through like maybe 18 months, then maybe 26. Not even just your company, but just even the whole landscape of the RWA sector. How do you from your perspective see this evolving?
Even experts are not sure because, for example, in January it was an updated report saying that the expectations are twice higher. Like even experts are not able to forecast anything. It's huge. People believe in it because it has more stability, less risks compared to ordinary crypto. And a lot of blockchains evolve, especially for financial operations. So they will promote such projects because it's all very sustainable. Regulators are open to host a lot of projects. Europe, US, Asia, they favor everything. Dubai, of course. So we have the momentum to launch everything we want everywhere we can. That's why actually we promote our software, because we can allow to open the platform for tokenize on several networks same time, because we are blockchain agnostic.
I would just add to that the market is fragmented, so different institutions and platforms are using different networks and standards. And I mean, obviously, there is indication to where it's going, but I think the advantage is with us. It's all about the option of the client, so they can choose what network they want to work on. From the back to the front end, they can completely define their experience, and according to obviously the profile and the behavior of their clients, if they're more Web3 savvy or not. So we can make that transition seamless, basically. And the idea is that the technology works in favor of our clients and efficiency and liquidity, and not the opposite, not make them work for, just for the sake of it, just for tokens. In the end, they might be using our tool without even knowing that they are running on any kind of blockchain.
I think that's the best way, man. I mean, how many of us really understand STMP and an HTML? We just get on and we send email like, oh, it works, great, fine. I don't need to know about that stuff. And so I think, to your point, Philippe, it's that same kind of mentality. We just want to get on, we want to use it, we want to go. We don't really care about what's making it go in the background. I had a question, but then you took me off on that thought, which I was like, oh, that's a great thought that he just said. So I got to regroup and get my thoughts back here for a moment. Heather, let me check my notes.
Yeah, please do. While you're doing that, I just want to again say thank you to Quantum Expeditions. They're the sponsors of these kind of spaces. We wouldn't be able to have these conversations without them sponsoring it. So if you haven't taken a look at Quantum Expeditions, please do. As I'm sure many of the listeners already know, the WeFunder is running out, and you can get in with them for as little as $100. So jump onto the WeFunder. We'll pin the link under this after the conversation and take a look at them. Talking about Quantum Expeditions, it's been fascinating watching their journey, because of course nothing is ever plain sailing. And when I had an AMA with them, I asked what their pain points were, where they thought their pain points were, and they gave some really fascinating answers. So I'm going to throw that question out to you guys with this, and please be very gentle on the technicals with me, because my brain needs a little bit of time to come around to what it is that you guys are saying when it comes to the technicalities. But where are your pain points? Do you identify anything as a particular problem when it comes to what you're trying to do here? And how are you overcoming those pain points?
The main pain point is that people don't understand why one token different from another. So I already lost $1,000 in cryptocurrencies. I don't believe in tokens, but tokenized real estate is different. That's the main case when people just don't understand what is cryptocurrency created on the principles of order book trading for Forex and fragmented ownership of something real. They think crypto is a scam, blockchain is a scam. They just treat everything the same way. And only through education, like explaining why this standard is different from this one. What are the principles for launching a token for a company that is not backed with anything, and just digitalizing something real from you can touch the building, not just promises of some company. And a lot of education through comparison. Like, for example, we always compare that if you think blockchain is complex, surprise, MasterCard and Visa are twice more complex. But nobody bothers because Visa and MasterCard didn't make people lose money, unlike crypto. That's why I want to explore, like, what's the scam? So yeah, a lot of people have stitches from previous crypto interactions.
I love that.
It's hard for them.
I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah, so we need to explain that we are literally different because we don't touch bubbles. We play with real things only.
Right. Great. Felipe, how about you?
I would say the same, plus the legal part. So structuring a business, and always the question if it involves any kind of SEC supervision, or if it's a security in any regulation. So I would say that's the challenge for everyone, and it's something that we will overcome with time. So we're getting prepared to, be agnostic and offer technology that is compliant.
Matt, did you get that question out?
Yeah, I did. I found it. I want to know about your Web3 wallet. because wallets are a big thing, security, privacy, all that kind of stuff. What can you share with us about that Web3 wallet that your users will have access to?
Yeah, when company wants to launch a project, and the
Yeah.
perfect case guys who tokenize silver and gold, uh, they want to launch a wallet branded only for them and their asset of tokenized gold and silver always on top, so people know who's the daddy. But still, they want to provide access to all top crypto. But the thing is, they have pools on different decentralized exchanges, and they don't want their users to just enter 3 different websites, connect wallet again and again to perform buy and sell. So we taught the system to understand third-party external pools, and the users can buy and sell digital gold and digital silver directly from the wallet, seamlessly tapped into those pools on third-party exchanges.
Okay, so you have access to third-party exchanges. So if I wanted to come on and I wanted to buy some tokenized gold, I would do that, but then your wallet would link me to that third-party exchange.
Yep.
Okay.
The owners of this tokenized gold place the pools on those dexes. They are public. They just seamlessly integrated to our Web3 wallet,
Okay.
meaning any
So
user can.
so they would handle the AML KYC part, I would imagine, to get clients cleared. Oops. Did we lose them?
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm not sure. That's one. Yeah, I think but that's one thing we can provide on a tailored basis. So if it's the case for that specific asset, especially if it's a security anywhere, we will have to integrate KYC, KYB. So we use like a third party for that, some sub
Okay.
usually, but that's pretty much open. Even the client wants to bring their own. They already have a provider. We can integrate
Yeah.
that.
Inside the admin panel, the owner will set which KYC level is required
Oh, okay.
to see
Okay.
the asset or to trade the asset.
Okay. Yeah, that was like one of the other questions, like, because that's always got to be like, unfortunately, that's one of the worst. I wouldn't say the worst parts. It was one of the rubs I think some of us still face. It's like, oh, the AML KYC, but I think you need that. You want that now in today's day and age. You want to have that transparency. You want to know who you're dealing with. And to me, it's become more of a red flag when you find a product or a service that does not do that. Then I'm like, maybe not so much.
Yeah, for tokenized gold, you don't need it. That's the beauty of solution.
Mm-hmm. Any other information? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I'm seeing somebody ask about the roadmap. Anything publicly disclosed that you can share with us about the roadmap at all? Where you guys are
For
going?
our platform as a service, correct?
Yeah.
It's we start with basics, like the setup for the companies to have the infrastructure to launch its own basic token, premium token, and the digital shop. And then we want to evolve it to have different blockchains under the hood, because we have clients who want to launch on Solana, clients who want to launch on Avalanche, clients who want to launch in Hedera. So we need a user UI and admin panel to easily interact with several blockchains. So one of the parts of continuous evolvement is adding more and more blockchains according to our client demands. Then the user decentralized applications. We know that a lot of companies already have existing applications and they don't want to launch another one. So we need to have SDKs in different languages for them to just implement the functionality inside of the existing app. And it's also several languages, so we need to come up with each one of them from point to point. Different integrations for MPC wallet providers for users who are scared to lose their seed phrase. There are MPC wallet providers with custodians and convenience to transform the seed phrase to a fingerprint. So even if you lose the phone, you just buy another one, install the same application, and your money are back.
Your money is back. I think we got another question here. Let's see. Okay.
What networks are enabled now
Yeah.
is a question that Skaziar has asked.
Yeah,
What?
any EVM blockchain, and the owner of the platform can add this blockchain directly from admin panel. You just need 4 parameters to activate it.
Right. When I have these conversations, I often feel like an absolute dummy because I am certainly, with the three of you here, not the smartest in the room by a long shot, and absorbing this information can be very difficult for me. I imagine that's the case for a lot of other people. I imagine that's the case even for, seasoned business owners that understand their business inside and out. Translating that to what you're saying and understanding what you're saying and translating that to their business is a hard part. Are you working towards any solutions that is going to bridge that communication gap between what it is that you guys know in depth and can look, you're asked a question and it seems so simple to you but might feel incredibly complex to somebody else? Are you working on solutions that bridge that gap? Because when I'm looking at the website, when I hear you guys speak, you're obviously knowledgeable. It's an exciting area to go into. My brain wants that little bridge that takes me from one side to the other in a comfortable, smooth way, and it makes me feel safe.
Yeah, it's maybe because you don't make money on it. Because when you do, you want to understand everything that happens. So
Daniel's
for the
just keeping it real, man. Keeping it real.
yeah, because for final users, he just needs to understand how you come from point A to point B, like how to insert one coin and get some more. But for the business, they need to understand the basics, and we answer questions like clarify, provide the documentation, ask AI to simplify this according to the background of the person. Now we have all those tools, but you move according to your needs. Like if you don't need it, you don't care. If you see the opportunity, you will study, you will comprehend, you will, on the later stage, you even uh, ask to improve things and ask us to see the direction we missed. And that's the best case when our clients make us better.
Yeah, but I would add something to that, which is the UX. So making an easy, easy to use, easy to digest for everyone. And so I think our designer and our technical team is a specialist in that. So not only, if you look at our admin and our backend, uh, it won't be the easiest way to understand what we do. But if you look at the use cases that we're building, then probably the average user of a fintech could probably understand without the need to, really understand the philosophy or the basic or the advanced stuff about decentralization and cryptocurrencies and so on. Although we tap all of those things in our technology, at the end, I think the product is easy to use even for the clients, like the B2B client. So it's easy to operate, it's easy to create or launch your own token, easy to interact with other coins that are the ones of your choice. And so I think that will probably make it easier for one of our jobs is to make it easier for our clients to use the technology in a way that they can approach more and more clients and see their business grow, and definitely harness the benefits of the technology.
Yeah, I like that you jumped on that one of your jobs is to make it easier for the client. I always think with any business, the smartest businesses out there make it easy from step A all the way through to Z. And I think as the space gets more popular and more people jump in, the verbiage gets a little easier to understand and the language starts to all come together. And you guys can find a real sweet spot, I think, with this business. From the website through to the last conversations that you're having, and all of the learning in between. That once you find that sweet spot of communication of what it is that you offer and how you offer it in the simplest way possible, I think you're going to have a lot of businesses turning their heads and saying, "Oh, we didn't realize that this was an app. We didn't realize that we could do this, and it is not as complex, or doesn't need to be as complex for us as we thought, because you guys are taking the complexity out of the process."
Yeah, that's correct. Like predefined modeling of a smart contract database exact jurisdiction. We create one, and then another client will just adjust the number of tokens to mint. Same for tokenomics. With pre-built tokenomics, you don't need to hire an expert and explain him what are you doing and spend a month or two uh, just delaying your time to market. Plus, the way to explain why your token price growth. So we don't need market makers, and they are very expensive for classic cryptocurrencies. We just say the price is growing logically. You don't need market making. It's not even a market
So
because
you're kind of going in. You're kind of leading me to the one of my last questions that I had there, Daniel, which is like, because there. I mean, obviously, the tokenization of real world assets is a huge narrative. Obviously, Larry Fink at BlackRock has done a major mea culpa. We've seen the soundbite in the video from him over the years when he's talking on Bloomberg, like, okay, we're going to tokenize everything 24/7, right? And now we've seen projects like, let's just say, Ondo, very big in the tokenization of real world assets. Also, Axelar, another one out there. But these both have tokens and they have tokenomics. And I think to your point, what you're saying is they have market makers where somebody like your project at Our Way doesn't. So maybe could you unpack that and show me and help me understand that clear differentiation, if that's even a word, differentiation between what you guys are doing and then projects like maybe Axelar or Ondo or whatnot, and how you maybe even have that Venn diagram where maybe you guys complement one another.
we say we just target in different niches. Ondo is a huge broker that can help you tokenize what we call ownership rights.
Mm-hmm.
If we say like tokenize our revenue, they will say how, because like it's something dynamic. We don't have use cases. We think that we will start a new niche because we have DePIN, RWA, and
Mm-hmm.
DeFi. We want to start the fourth way, revenue way, our way, to invite companies to tokenize something different, not their shares with delusion, but something they can share exists. It's a real world asset, it's a revenue, but you don't give ownership rights to somebody else. You just allow to enjoy the profitability of your business growth. And it's reflected with the token, because you can tokenize a property, it can lose 20% in 1 year. But with revenue, it's not possible because you don't have negative revenue.
I like this. This Hatter, this sounds like some really kind of cutting edge stuff that these guys are cooking up over here.
It does, and I don't have any more questions, but I do have an observation. We've jumped over it very quickly, but you've mentioned it a couple of times now, Daniel, and it's the speed by which you can to market. And I can see here we've already highlighted it, but launch from 2 to 6 weeks, and you said at the top of this conversation, launch between 2 to 6 weeks is very quick. Which means you guys are really, I see it almost like a plug and play, and you can really come in, plug and play very, very fast. So it seems that you guys have everything down, to the minute detail to ensure that nothing crops up in between and we get those typical delays, because we know this space is full of delays. So to be able to do something like this seamlessly and quickly is a really good feather to have in your cap.
Yeah, that's right, because we teach the system to understand new tricks with a couple of integrations required for exact project, and change the layout for the user. Basically, that's it, because you can't teach the blockchain the new trick. You just use it. So basically, when you use blockchain, you delegate your financial and accounting core. It becomes decentralized. It becomes very trusted, because blockchain is a trust machine in the core.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's why we are fast, because you just launch the core software, make renovation for the view, and for example, implement your unique regional on-ramp or KYC provider. It's good to start. Then you just evolve.
We're getting close to the top of the hour on our conversation here, and it's great to see we have over 7,140 viewers right now across about 4 or 5 various platforms streaming the program right now around the world and across the web. So while we have this captive audience, now we're over 7,200 and growing. How about a call to action from both of you guys for the project, what you want folks to know, direct them again, just a really strong call to action on how folks can get involved and learn more about Our Way.
Oh, that's interesting. Because we have
no pressure. There's only 7,200, almost 7,300 people watching.
Yeah, because like if you're new to crypto, explore, like educate yourself. If you want to invest in an asset that can only grow, wait for a couple of months, we will show you. If you're a business that wants to tokenize yourself, please ping us. We will show you one of the good ways to do that.
Yeah, and for those early adopters, contact us. We have our LinkedIn page, also other networks that you can find us and follow us for the updates. And enjoy the opportunity to launch your tokens or your decentralized exchange or marketplace with us, and be one of the angel clients with even the opportunity to hold some of our tokens. Yeah, and let's schedule a call and explore synergies, and it's a pleasure.
Hatter?
I am looking forward to having you guys back. That's where my mind is at now. I can't wait to catch up with you guys, and I think Matt and I should insist on having you back in a month or a couple of months' time to see where you're at. Let's see where you guys are at once the chaos of whatever is happening around the world starts to slow down a little bit, when things get a bit more normal, when we realize that especially crypto is starting to be on the up, which is what we're being told, what we're being promised. I think it's going to be fascinating to see where you guys are going to be at in a couple of months' time, and see how far along you are from today's conversation to then.
So I want to close it out with something just totally fun and lighthearted, just a little speculation, since we're all in this space. You know, Bitcoin is what right now, I think maybe right around 80,000. Just give us your end of the year price target on Bitcoin. Where do you think this thing lands by the end of 2025, Philippe?
Well, I know it has 4 years curve, 17, 18, 20, 21. So if we had a peak of 104 in 2024, the peak for 2025, according to the rest of the things we saw, should be 180,000.
180. Philippe, what about you, man?
Let's just be bolder and go 200.
200. Hatter, what about you? What's your end of the year? What do you want to throw out there?
This is just
man,
speculating, right?
200,000, correct? Not
Yes,
just
yes.
200.
200,000.
No, I'm just speculating.
You ask me this every week, and every week I tell you the same thing. Whatever I say, it's going to do the opposite. So I'm going to go for $1, and we can all pray for $1 million.
Oh, geez. He's watching The Price is Right. Even over there in the UK, he's watching The Price is Right. I will go bold, and I've been saying this. I've said this. I think that we see rate cuts here within the next 72 to, within the next week. We could see it. I'd say it's 72 hours to the next week. I think we see rate cuts. I think we see massive QE. And I think by the end of May, we see $200,000 Bitcoin. And then we see a pullback. But by the end of the year, 250. There you go. That's just me. But that could be the Hot Pocket I ate earlier, giving me some indigestion. I don't know. So
this conversation has excited you a lot. It seems you're on the crypto bandwagon. I like it. Again, another shout out to the sponsors, Quantum Expeditions. We have tons of exciting conversations coming up this week. So anybody that's tuning in now, please tune in tomorrow. Please tune in on Sunday. There's lots of stuff happening with quantum economics. And we, have been fortunate enough to speak to rway.io, which is rway.io. They're doing some really fascinating things with real world assets, tokenization, and the call to action is simple. Get in touch, jump on the website, book your consultation, have a conversation with these guys. Even if you think it's a pipe dream, even if you think it's a small seed of something, have a conversation, see how these guys can help you. I think it's going to be really interesting to see them grow.
All right. On that note, like we say, stay smart, stay safe, stack sats. Model. Thank you.
Thank you so much.